to rap philosophy with the res, with the Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, we're going to do this. All right, we're starting.
Where do we start? How do we even get here?
How did we get here? That's an interesting question. You appeared at my door one day.
I know. I think how did I even find you? Oh, I found you through I got called like a music production company, and and then they gave me to you,
Yeah,
and the rest is history.
I don't even think they're in business now.
Yeah, because we fuck them up. No, who wants to study like school books? Yeah, you just jump in and start producing music and like figure it out. And that's how you do it. Like, I didn't want to be a recording engineer. I want to be like actually producing my own shit. Like, I don't want to follow their script.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, in the few years that I've known you, you've gone through some crazy transformation. And what's the biggest transformation that you felt like Rez or Dave has gone through?
It started when I was young, but since I've known you, like one of the reasons I even reached out is because I hit a rock bottom period. And when I was at the bottom, I was like regretting not having done certain things. And one of the things I regretted is I'd never went for music.
Yeah.
Kind of dabbled in like garage band and made a couple albums, but I know I always wanted to do like professional level, like high level music. And so when I got out of my rock bottom situation, I just went all in and came back to the Bay, and like that's just started reaching out.
Yeah, because I remember, like, as most men, they go through a spiral, and yours was induced by a woman.
It definitely was. It was a bad breakup and also a bad injury. And yeah, like, you know, my whole world just kind of fell into a black hole, and I didn't know if I was going to survive. Like, I kind of died spiritually and was like in this really bad place for a long time. Just
So you died spiritually. So
I was suicidal like every morning from 6 a.m. till noon. Like, I would just have visions of different ways to kill myself. It was crazy. I couldn't stop. It's not like I wanted that. It's just like,
how did you live like that, though?
I kept telling myself, like, just see another day. Yeah, it's hard, but you have to keep like, there was also like, I was teaching tennis. I was living in Avila Bay, and there was a lot of nice people at this tennis club where I worked, and they were always like very positive, and it gave me reassurance that like I was still supposed to be in this world. But I was questioning a lot, and I wrote a book in that time, super dark shit.
Yeah. And then I remember you were like, I'm gonna make a move, and the move was to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
Do you think that's when everything changed for the better for you?
It was part of the like, I don't like the word commitment. It was part of my dedication. Like, this new chapter of my life, like I'm going all in on living my highest, whatever, the highest version that I can possibly achieve. And, you know, I've always wanted to live in Santa Cruz for the waves and the dance scene, and everything there is dope. So I did it. And then, yeah, it's like a vortex. I definitely felt like my evolution accelerated there.
So when you moved to Santa Cruz, did you already have a community?
No, didn't know anybody in Santa Cruz.
And now you know everybody.
Not everybody, but I like the people I'm meeting.
Yeah.
I feel like I had to kind of get myself into a certain place. Like, I had to really dig deep and go, you know, push myself to get to where I needed to be. And now that I'm there, I feel like I'm kind of on a different level mentally and consciously. And like, people recognize that. Like, people are way more outgoing with me now. It's kind of cool. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah.
So did you have to break out of like this shy, introverted little David to transform into the man from the woods?
I still feel like the shy, introverted dude, but I don't know. That's how I still feel inside. But I feel like the reflection I'm getting back from other people is like more like, I guess I'm not. And I tell that to people, and they're like, "Oh, I always thought you were like really outgoing and extroverted." And I was like, no, you know.
You invited me to a world of ecstatic dance, which I knew nothing about. And when I see you in your world, I was like, this is not a shy guy.
Oh, that's good. I'll cover it up well.
Yeah.
because that's one of the reasons I do dance is because I know how like what an edge that is for me. Like when I first started dancing and I saw a partner dancing, I was like, I can't do that, but I want to. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because I personally, I'm not all there yet with ecstatic dance. But when I see you out there, it's like you're totally like free spirit. You're rolling on the ground. You're just free, and it's amazing. It's like from an outsider looking in.
no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a long time. Like I would go to dances and just sit on the sidelines and watch half the time, and then I was like, I should try drugs. This is bad. How am I ever gonna like break into this world and be relaxed? So I think I took a Vicodin once, and I went, and I was so much more. Just I felt like fucking felt like the ocean. I just started actually like
So drugs is the answer.
it's part of it. I've fully embraced the fact that some drugs are definitely allies and good for me if done
Yeah,
in
I
the right
think in
way.
moderation,
Hmm.
it depends on what drugs, but
People call them medicines, and if you're from Santa Cruz, it's a medicine. So then it's okay. It's okay
it's
as
okay.
long as you call it a medicine. You can do it as much as you want, right? Because it's good.
Yeah, as long as that medicine doesn't leave you living in the sight of a railroad track. I sound like a zombie, like,
Hey, hey, oh my God, yeah, dude. But that's like, I mean, part of moving to Santa Cruz was like I'd had some big drug experiences in college, but then I was like,
So,
kind of,
we're speaking of drugs.
yeah, let's talk about drugs.
What drug particularly has changed your life?
Well, I mean, it started with weed back in my 20s. I just
Yeah, weed's legal now.
Weed's legal now.
Yeah.
I was like, going to college and everyone, I'm Division I athlete. Everyone's partying and wants to be cool. And one of the guys on our tennis team, like, kind of got us all partying with.
Division one athlete.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you have gone pro?
If I knew what I know now, I think I could have. But with my childhood situation and parent drama and just kind of like not having my talent developed, like you have to really be focused and you have to have a lot of pieces in the right place. And none of the pieces were in place. So
Yeah,
it just didn't happen. But I think pure talent wise, I probably do have world class talent. But I can't just say that. Like,
exactly.
but I competed with guys and beat guys who got into the top 10, top 20 in the world. So
Well, that's amazing, especially in a solo sport like tennis.
yeah, I'm good at all sports. Like I'm just born like very athletic.
So if we were to compare your game, let's name drop and fantasize like whose game is your game after? Like modern or past player?
I modeled my game after Andre Agassi because he was like my dude, and I used to wear like all those.
Did your dad like tape
Bandanas.
like paddles to your hand like
No,
Andre Agassi's dad?
no, no. I didn't train hard until I was 16. I got a really strong trainer when I was 16. He taught me how to lift, and we'd do all this hard.
Oh, you did live the Andre Agassi life, minus just going pro.
Kinda.
Yeah, a little bit of
Minus all the millions of dollars.
millions
Fame.
in fame,
Yeah.
but all the partying and maybe some of
Yeah.
the extracurricular activities.
I've done a little bit of that too, but yeah, to be a serious athlete, like that's a path of full on like dedication from a young age, and you can't really have anything interfering with that.
But you made a successful career teaching.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy teaching more than playing. I mean, playing's so intense.
Yeah.
Like I'm very competitive and I don't like to lose and I don't like to like underachieve. So I like break rackets and shit and get super angry at myself for like, but that's also what drives me.
So when you're teaching or coaching, how intense do you get with your students?
I can kind of sense what they're ready for or what they can handle. And
Yeah.
I try to match them. And some kids,
Do you try to break them or what?
yeah, but in a way that makes sense. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if they're just starting and I'm playing like my full potential, it just doesn't make sense.
Do you ever have like a badass kid that thinks they're the shit and you just need like to humble them?
Yeah, Yeah, some kids when I first meet them, they've got like a weird attitude, and I've got to like, got to discipline them and get them on the right in the right
And
mindset.
once you show them, like, hey, I am fucking the tennis god, like, do they how do they respond?
It takes them a little. Some kids they don't understand, and it takes them like they have to get better to realize how good I really am. Like they have to get to a place where they're actually kind of good, and
Yeah,
then they can actually compete with me, and then I can destroy them, and they just oh shit, and I'm like,
yeah.
come and get me, dude. I'm right here. Like I'm just levels beyond, you know.
So with your coaching and training, have you seen success with your pupils? Like, move on to Division 1 and
I mean, everyone I coach plays college tennis. If I coach them for over 3 or 4 years, they'll play college. That's just if they want to. I've
yeah,
had multiple, like I'd have to list it off, but 25 kids play college tennis that I've worked with. A lot of D1, like scholarship level, and
that's
a
amazing.
lot of D3. And I coach the team that if you're starting on our team, you're pretty much college level.
And what's cool was that?
It's called Menlo School,
Uh,
one of the best teams in the country every year. So it's cool. It's like a machine.
that's a private school and they got this hippie ass.
Yeah. The weird older brother to these kids. They love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They like to work hard. And that's all it is, just a work ethic. And it's like a program and everyone jumps in the program and gets better. It works.
So I see you have a lot of color on your skin. What was your fascination with tattoos and this type of art?
I don't know. It's pretty simple. I always just think it's cool. I like it. I think it looks cool. I think it's edgy. I think it's rebellious. And I think it separates you as a person. Like some people look at people with tattoos and they're intimidated. And I like that.
Yeah,
I want people to feel if someone's can't not ready for the level or they're just not awake, then it kind of just it's like a filter. And then other people understand and they think it's cool too. And it's just kind of like it's easier to find my people.
yeah.
And it's like you got $50,000 worth of ink on your arms. It's like a total flex.
$50,000 worth of ink.
Yeah, at least. At least that's what I
That's
see.
insane.
It's like wearing two Rolexes all the time, and
Eh,
people understand that. It's like you're kind of just flexing, but this is the way I want to flex. I don't want to wear jewelry and stuff. I want to like
yeah, yeah.
have body art and something people can
No, the body art's pretty like intricate. Like on your left bicep, it's like cyberistic, like musculoskeletal or something, you know?
It's my evolution. Yeah, it's like my alien upgrade. My true skin. That's what they call it. Yeah.
So you incorporating coaching, tennis, music, dance, yoga, health and fitness, like all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this going?
I don't know, but it feels like I'm called to a very like I'm being kind of driven by a force inside of me to like it's energy, right? Like everything I do is to create like kind of like good energy and clarity so that I can keep pushing towards my goals. And my goals, it's like, where's that even coming from? I
Yeah.
feel like it's coming from like the source of the divine or something. It's just like, okay. And I just keep reaching.
Every time like you do something, it's very high level. Do you find it hard for you to find other people that's on your frequency?
Um, yes and no. I feel like some people are on my level in certain ways or even on higher levels, but then like I have so many things that I've pushed to a high level that it's like it's hard to find one person that's kind of like doing so many things at a high level because it's just exhausting and for me it's just normal. But like you're on a much higher level than me in terms of like understanding technology and being able to set up this dope like podcast setup and your music studio. Like that's so far beyond me. Like I totally respect that and value that about you. It's just like
And what I respect about you is you're constantly looking out for people to help you evolve. Like I do this music, technology stuff. And you're also, when you're doing yoga, you said you reached out to like high level yoga people,
mm-hmm,
high level nutrition people.
mm-hmm.
Was it when did that mindset get to you where you're like, I can't do this shit all by myself?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the threshold I had to cross to like I had to when I really died spiritually is because I just I couldn't survive by myself anymore. Like I'd gone as far as I could and I crashed and burned and I was like pushing so hard by myself and I'm like, if I'm gonna survive this, I need help. Like I need other people. I need to learn new things. I need to try I can't do this all by myself. So then I had to learn how to trust other people and find other people and navigate in a whole nother way.
So
It,
for advice for people searching for what you're doing and may not be maybe a little scared to spend the resources for the nutritionist, someone that knows their arts, what's your advice to them?
invest in yourself and the things you know you need to do. Just do it and like don't worry about the money because the money is there for these things. Like nothing's more important than your spiritual growth and your evolution as a human being. So any door that's going to lead you towards that, you should invest in it, even if it seems kind of crazy or reckless. Just do it.
So that's money well spent.
It's money well spent, and there's also some magic when you start to go there because more money will somehow manifest. It's like when you go towards your higher versions of yourself, like magic starts to happen and it's kind of hard to explain, but if you do it, you know. And it's just like endless magic happening in my life now because I realize it and I'm just like, okay, let's keep going, like throwing energy and money in those directions and it all reciprocates.
Then all of a sudden, more money just keeps appearing.
It's crazy. I don't understand it, but I feel like if I keep going, I don't. And my intention is not to make money. I don't care about. Like it's only to grow
Yeah,
as a person. That's all I care about.
I think that's what money should be used for, is for self growth. And a lot of people abuse money, and it's like they do harm and damage to other people, and they don't even know what to do with themselves.
Yeah,
I think because they're lacking a lot of like self growth inside. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I think we've been taught to like value money just for itself. Like you need to make money to like be successful. It's like
Yeah.
you need to spend fucking money on yourself and invest in your dreams. Like that's the ultimate form of success, in my opinion and in my experience. And I encourage people to do that because I don't see any other way to live. Like I don't want to die with any money. I want to know that I've spent everything. I did everything I could to like, better myself, better my friends, and to support people who are doing dope shit. Like that's it. I don't want to sit here and fucking, you know, invest in like Bitcoin and all this shit. It's like, nah, it's not for me. I've done all that. It didn't really get me where I wanted to go.
Yeah, understand. Coming up, like, what are your values? Like, past and present, how have they changed?
Um,
Values are like,
yeah. I mean, being super authentic and true to myself is important. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's super cliche, but like,
were you not true and like true to yourself?
yeah, like I didn't produce like a lot of these things that I've chosen to do, like living in Santa Cruz, living in a place that I actually feel like kind of suits me, or like doing really challenging things that are over my head, like producing music. Like I wouldn't go for those things. I was doing a lot of cool shit. Like people
Yeah.
could look at my life and say, yeah, you're living your dream, you're surfing, you're doing yoga, you're teaching tennis, you're like got all these cool shit going on. But then there's other parts of me that weren't like fully happening yet. So to do, yeah,
Because on the outside looking in, man, everyone's like, they used to live in,
I don't know. People might think I'm crazy, but yeah, I mean,
but they don't understand the work that you put in, like
yeah,
to live in the woods, to surf, to get to that high level. You know, it's like
yeah.
you're in the ocean like 4 or 5 times a week. It feels like,
The waves are good. Yeah, the waves are just good too. But like honesty is a huge thing. Um, I'd rather say the truth, and if it fucks, if people get hurt or people like are shocked by it, I'd rather speak my truth
yeah,
than like sugarcoat everything and just to like make people feel good. Like I'm not into that. I'm just into the raw ass truth because that's real. and it's all about being real. Immediacy is a really important thing to me. Like if something's on my mind or like I want to say something, try to do it immediately and not put things off. Like I did that for a long time. I'm not perfect at that one, but I try to. I don't like walking on eggshells around people. Being vulnerable, like, like putting myself out there and just like, I'm just going to try shit, I'm going to like, because in order to get good at anything, you got to start at the beginning. You got to suck at it for a while. So I'm okay with that. And that makes you vulnerable. It's like, fuck, I suck at this, but I'm going to keep trying until I get better. Like, you watch me suck at music. Like, I listen to my old shit. I'm like, a lot of these songs suck, but that's the best I could do. And I had to go through that and I had to
But
do that to produce those songs.
you have an innate ability to hyper focus and just level up. It's like I feel like you have like this obsessive behavior about yourself. I want to do something and I just need to keep leveling up. Maybe it's that competitive athlete in you. You just don't want to be mediocre.
I can't. No, it's not even possible.
No.
I'm just born like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm going to take on anything, I'm going to go on all the way. So most of it's just about identifying the things I really like.
Yeah.
And if I really like something, I'm just going to go all in. And same with people, relationships, like,
But relationships,
yeah.
is that something you struggled with? It seems like because you're so focused on your personal self growth, as your relationships with other people suffer because of your self growth.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I just feel like the level I'm at requires a very specific type of person who can, or people that understand me and can like let me do my thing and not fuck with my energy because I'm very independent and I don't need much help, and if I do need help I'll ask for it, and I just mostly just need people that flow in and out of my life smoothly, and if anything's creating conflict or becoming a distraction, like I don't want to deal with that shit. I got boundaries around that, and it's like I don't want to be putting out fires or in a relationship that's like crazy drama and I need to like constantly be fixing things or like, so I've dealt with all that shit in my past and relationships and growing up with parents who were like super toxic, and
Yeah.
I didn't have good role modeling. Um, so I've had to learn it all by myself.
As you get older and with this self growth, have you had to cut off a lot of people from your life?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious when a relationship isn't really working or it just doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it's
At the same time, new people could appear in your life.
right.
That changes everything.
Exactly, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Like people come in and out, and then they serve a little purpose, and it might not always be a good purpose. Someone might come in to teach you a lesson about some bullshit. Yeah, it's not always good, and that's fine. Like I've had to you have to deal with demons sometimes, and that's totally fine. Or like someone who was a really good presence, like kind of like mutates into a demon, and it's like, were you always a demon, or did I just not see it, or did I up level and now I see things differently? Like I don't
I
know.
think it's crazy. Like I feel like you and I have leveled up since we met each other.
Hmm.
But I'm sure you have met people 4 or 5 years ago that they still might be the same level that they were 4 or 5 years ago,
Hmm. Or 50 years ago,
or 50 years
like
ago.
my parents, they have not grown much. And it's like, isn't that fucking boring, dude? Like, how boring would that life be if you're not like on a journey of transformation? Like, you're just kind of doing the same stupid shit. You're the same person every day, putting on the same clothes, going to the same job, driving the same car, eating the same food. It's like, thinking the same thoughts, watching the same TV shows. This is fucking
It's like you're
boring.
just fucking living a simulation.
Yeah. How boring. I mean, that's like suicide shit to me. It's like, how do you even survive like that? It's so much more interesting when you're like having a full experience. It's so much more interesting. Like,
So leveling up. What do you want to level up next?
I really want to perform live music. I think that's a huge edge for me, and
Yeah, yeah.
produce so many songs, and it always seems like there's something more to do to get to that place, and I'm like finally reaching this. It's like I'm just gonna do it. Like I'm just gonna like figure it out and just take the songs I've got and work on them.
So you're just gonna do like a handstand in Jamaica.
yeah, why not? And I'm also trying to get involved in the scene, like as a as a DJ, and kind of get myself out there as like just so people know that I'm, that I can do some cool shit. And then it's like, oh yeah, he's a good DJ, and oh, well, he produces his own music too. What the fuck? And start like trying to, put myself out there. It's a big edge for me because I feel I'm very humble, and I don't want the attention on me. It's just not my style. But eventually, you got to kind of, if I
Put yourself out.
yeah, if I want to have a good influence, a positive influence, and like get people stoked, and like maybe teach them some things about life and evolution and growth, people have to know who I am and what I'm talking about
So the purpose that you want to be a known DJ, known artist, to show people like,
to get to the deeper stuff, I guess.
yeah,
To kind of pull people in to my field. I mean, those are just ways to kind of get people to like, or want to come party, or want to come like, oh yeah, he's doing something probably cool. Let's go and see what it is. And then I can kind of use that, you know, if it works,
yeah, yeah.
because I definitely feel called. I feel like I got a lot of things going on in my head, and a lot of big ideas and cool stuff. And it's like, I want to share it, and I think it's important to like, if I can influence people in a good way.
Do you ever just get tired and you're like, I just need a break? It seems like your brain and mind is
Yeah, it's all good.
going like 200% all the time.
Just when I drink wizard coffee and smoke a cigarette and get back to work.
What's wizard coffee?
Every morning I make half calf with some mushrooms. I saw dates. I feel like 5 or 6 medjool dates in the blend. Make some half calf.
Oh man.
Do a little bit of nut butter, like some raw sprouted, whatever, pecan butter, macadamia nut butter in there. So it's like coffee, but it's like with some sweetener and some like extra fat. And then I put a little microdose of mushrooms. I used to use kratom too, but I don't find that does anything. So the caffeine with the microdose of mushrooms is like just kind of puts me in the right place to live my life. I just feel better when I'm on. I could literally take it every fucking day. I don't need breaks.
Oh wow.
No, like people say, 1 week on, 1 week off. I'm all, how about just like your whole, like every day? Yeah,
Little microdose.
just a tiny bit. Yeah, I don't even measure it. I just take a little tiny, I powder, I turn it into powder because people give me mushrooms, and it's like, oh, there's all these different types. And so I just put them in a coffee grinder and throw them in the jar, and then just take like a little tiny scoop, like the tip of my spoon. I don't know if that's like 0.25 gram. I don't know what it is. It's very small, zero point 0.1. Doesn't matter. Feel good though. It's like,
Yeah.
if there's anything I can do that makes me feel more connected to source and more creative and more driven, that doesn't have like negative consequences, then I'll do it. Like, why not?
So you seem like you're living in your own enclosed capsule right now. Does the environment going on around the world affect you at all?
I mean, I'm aware of the news, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and so I get kind of kept up to date on what's going on in the world. Um,
So you're not naive with what's happening in the world.
I might not know every single detail like currently today that's
Yeah.
happening, but I think there's a shift going on consciously. I think there's so much free flow of information now that like ideas that things that we could never know before, like maybe about the government or about, fringe topics like psychedelics or not extraterrestrial, but like paranormal stuff or conspiracy stuff. It's all like available now, like in mass.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird shit going on.
It's a lot of trippy shit. And then you got guys like Elon Musk in like, now he's like up there in the politics, and he has Twitter. So he can, he's trippy. He's like on ketamine, and he can just spread information. Joe Rogan can spread information about like, all sorts of stuff, ibogaine and ayahuasca and mushrooms. Like he's always preaching about stuff like that. And I just feel like there's a big conscious shift that cannot be stopped now. I mean, it happened in the 60s, but they shut it down and made the drugs illegal. But I feel like this revival is, I don't know if they can stop it.
So do you think these people of mass influence should play a role in the government?
I feel like the government should be destroyed and dismantled. I don't think it doesn't really serve any. It's become so corrupt. Like they're literally finding money laundering at so many levels. At least that's what I've heard. I mean,
Yeah.
like Elon's discovering, oh, they're sending $15 million to Iran or Iraq to like promote the use of, so kids watch Sesame Street. Like that is just money laundering. And I don't know. It's like we have all these systems that the government manages that are so fucking corrupt. Like the education system
Mm.
to me is just straight up brainwashing. Like we're not learning how to be good human beings by going to school. We're learning how to make money and it's bullshit. We should be learning how to cook and clean and take care of our bodies and exercise,
Yeah,
be
because
super healthy.
I I don't know if it's just propaganda or what they're just promoting, but other countries in the world, what they're teaching their kids and what the US kids are learning currently, it's night and day.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah.
It is night and day. Like kids around the world are running circles,
Around American kids.
are running around American kids.
Well, like, look at what's happening. Like the vaccine schedule. Like, you work in medicine. Like, how many vaccines does a baby get? Like 30? I don't even know. I mean, it's crazy. And then I wonder why like half the population's autistic. It's like, duh, like it's so obvious, but
I
people.
feel like, yeah, there are like 3 or 4 major vaccines like polio, and mumps, measles, but we don't need 55 vaccines.
I don't know if we need any vaccines. I mean, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to get polio if that's a real thing. But is it, or are we just taught that so much? It's so many psyops. There's so many like things that we've been told are true. And when you actually look into it or like research it or think about it from an intelligent point of view, none of it's even true. And or at the least, it's very questionable. And that's where
But
conspiracy theories
what
and
I know is that kids are much sicker these days
yeah,
than 60, 70 years ago.
and much more. The obesity rate is 42% among adults.
It's because of all the shit that they have put in the fast foods,
Right.
the convenient foods in the grocery stores. If you looked at the labels from what X product was, they added probably 30 more preservatives than 40 years ago. Same product.
Yeah. It's food is designed, that food's designed to be addictive. And I believe I think it's all done by design. Like, I think we're designed to be unhealthy so that we get sick and then we feed into a predatory medical system that makes a shitload of money off people being sick and not knowing why.